and your journey as an entrepreneur. We'll start with the lady with the red.
Hi guys, I am Nomzamo Dlamini, all the way from Katlehong. I am currently the CEO and founder of Luke Show Emporium. It's called Luke Show, by the way. It's a luxurious fragrance brand. So we've got 6 scents currently, diffusers, hand lotions, the works. So I started my business early 2021, and since then I've never looked back. So I also have a cleaning company, and I am only 20. Yes.
Wow. Amazing.
Thank you. Not a baby.
She makes me feel like I'm old. But otherwise, good day, guys. I'm so excited to be with you. It's really exciting to be out here. As much as we still have COVID, it's nice to speak to people because we always do Zoom meetings. But otherwise, my name is Millicent Mashele. I call myself a businesswoman, an education activist, and a village girl. I'm from a village in Bushbuckridge. I actually am a businesswoman because I own the Legacy Center. It's an accounting firm. I'm a chartered accountant. And I'm an education activist because I have so many qualifications because I believe in education. Like you were saying, I actually say a village girl like me was given a key to open the doors that I open every day because of the education. I don't know anything. So if you go to school, you will be empowered to do business, I lecture as well, I'm a lecturer at UNISA. So yeah, that's me. Thank you.
Thank you. Yebo. Siyaphila.
My name is Sati Sotuwe. I am the founder of Before You Start Publishing. I'm also the author of a book titled The 10-Minute Guide to Starting a Business, Lessons Entrepreneurs Like the Hard Way. I've been an entrepreneur since 2011. I think in that time, in the last 10 years or so, I've started about 60 businesses, most of which failed dismally. And throughout that journey, the lessons, having gone to school, like MJ mentioned earlier on, I've ended up at a point where I said to myself, there has to be a change. It's unacceptable that we live in a society where there are so many entrepreneurs, but the failure rate of businesses is still 8 out of 10. And that's how I published that book. I currently work as a small and medium business growth facilitator, where I work with mature businesses to help them find areas of growth, implement systems, and essentially just grow their knowledge.
Hi everyone. My name is Temba Makamo. I'm the founder of Ivaya Footwear. Shoot is Tengisa Mategi. But we not only sell amategi, these sneakers are unique. They help you achieve your goals. So, if you want to achieve your goals, wear Ivaya. So if you've been struggling in life and it's been tough, and I know you want a degree like Uputasho, or you want to buy a new Range Rover, nali tegi. Leli lizokuthatha likubeke. Basically, our sneakers are designed to give you confidence. So when you have your confidence, you can go for it. That's our slogan. Go for it, Vaya. So I've been in business for years. I started in business before I went into business. I was a journalist for 10 years. Bengithanda indaba zabantu, and I realized ukuthi ngifuna ukwenza indaba ngami. So and then I went into business around 2009. So I've done a couple of businesses, failed a lot before I got to this moment of Vaya. And I'm ngagcoka Vaya. I started achieving my goals. Thank you.
Round of applause. I think if you really doubt Uguti Ivaya will make you achieve your goals, try it on. try it on. I-value proposition important kanjani in keeping your business relevant and effective in this day and age.
So, value proposition is the difference between your business surviving and it failing. And where it's particularly important is telling your customer or the people whose problem you solve why they should specifically come to you. So I'll make an example of chicken licken and KFC. Okay. So those are two different businesses that do two different things. They both sell chicken. Okay. So the one thing that chicken licken specializes in, their value proposition is they serve the best wings. Any innovation or any creation or addition or upgrades to the food product that chicken licken makes is with respect to wings, with respect to chilies, because that's their core product. When you are hungry, you think either chicken licken or KFC. Chicken licken, on the other hand, they position themselves as a meal. Right? Great spices, you can have it as a meal. So, and because those two things are different, when you leave your house, you know exactly where you're going. You know exactly what you want. So the question you've got to ask yourself as a business owner is my customer leaving their home coming to me directly or going to the gym? So if you go to town in Joburg, you'll see in plastic bags, abandoned, they're just out in the open, and other people spray their tomatoes with water. Right? Depending on what's appealing to you, you buy whichever one. So the guy that sprays his tomatoes with water understands that the psychology of the person that buys for him is they want healthy looking tomatoes, fresh looking tomatoes. And if I spray it with a little water and it shines, that person's going to come to me. The person that buys the tomatoes in a plate, it's in a follow plastic, is looking for bulk purchases at a cheap price. For the whole. And the person in the plastic bag is, okay, I can go and buy cherries, but it's expensive. I want something that's close to it. So I'm going to buy something packaged like it's in the store. And that's the difference from a value proposition perspective. Sets your business apart, tells your customer what problem you solve for them, and communicates to the customer that if you need that problem solved,
Love it. I just love it. I love the fact that we're busy solving problems to show that we are in entrepreneurship 101. Right? Now, I think you say a very important thing when you say that the way you position yourself, right? And it's market positioning that makes people buy from you, you know? And also from a young age, you know that when you're young in the industry, people tend to have misconceptions about the products you sell or about the services you sell. Now, how do you create a wow factor for you and your business? Or how do you create a distinct factor so that people can buy from you and not the next person?
Actually, I started business at the age of 13. I became a distributor for container business. And then at that age, I learned the importance of packaging, right? So when I would deliver to my customers, it would come in a plain plastic. They would say, but where's the ambience? You know, you're selling these containers, but I want proper packaging. So when I started Luxury Emporium, I knew that my fragrances need to be luxurious. When people see my packaging, they need to feel that luxuriousness. So I put in so much effort in making my products luxurious. And when people buy my perfume or when I deliver it, they see that, wow, now this is luxurious. When they receive it, they see that, wow, this is luxurious. So when people say to me that your Zamo, your oils are really different. It is because my oils are oil-based. I want it to be different. Alcohol-based oils only last for about 8 hours. My oils last for about 19 hours. So it's the quality that makes me different from other brands. So I made sure that when someone says that, Zamo, I want to be more confident, Zamo, I want to be more attractive, I knew that my fragrance will do just that because of the quality, the packaging. Yes.
Nice. I think it's I love it when youth invest in the knowledge of their businesses and their products, because it shows that you are really passionate about what you're doing. And when you take yourself seriously, we also take you seriously. Now I want to know what you mean by oils and alcohol. I didn't even know that you could put alcohol in oils. You know? So I think that's very amazing. Give her a round of applause. Give her a round of applause. Now, let's talk about the concept of support black businesses, right? I just want us to go through the panel in general. Uguti, what has your experience about support black businesses gone, and what advice do you have, or what's your take when it comes to supporting black businesses? Because sometimes, yes, we want to empower each other, but utoluguti, the next black person doesn't take pride in their product or service, and yet we need to support black businesses. So what is your take or your input with regards to that? We'll start with you, sir, and then ma'am, Sivaye, and then Sotkinangawe. Thank you.
Sure. So that's a very complex question. And I think it sounds very simple and straightforward, but it actually isn't. I think you understand the motivation for it. So on the one hand, economically it's important to do it. But on the other hand, there's the issue of quality, there's the issue of meeting customer expectations, there's the issue of servicing customers, there's the issue of managing customer relationships. So let's start quickly with the economics part. South African townships spend every month buying small groceries, the stuff that you buy every week, 49 billion rands. That's how much townships spend its plaza shops. 49 billion rands every month. So you can imagine if that money was being spent within local businesses, the impact it would have economically. So that's the one hand. The other hand of saying, okay, manage quality, manage customer expectation, that's an education thing. And that's why for me it was important when I wrote the 10-minute guide to starting a business, to make sure that there's communication around, first you've got to understand your customer problem and develop a solution to solve that customer problem. But your customer must be willing to pay you for that solution. And once your customer starts paying you, you treat that person like royalty. Part of the reason that businesses fail to service their communities is we don't understand or we underestimate the effort it takes to service a customer. Some customers will call you at 12 in the night, and say, I can't get my laces through my shoes. What do I need to do? That's the kind of support you're going to need to give to customers when you start out. Because that builds your reputation. Reputation is what then becomes your brand. Brand is reputation. You build that by the support that you give. So it is important to support black business, 100%. But in order for black businesses to be supported, entrepreneurs like us need to educate themselves about how to build a business properly, how to support our customers properly, and how to make sure we've got the right systems in place to support our customers.
Okay, I guess I'll try after that. But otherwise, as I was driving in here in Soweto, I was actually looking at ShopRite, KFC, and I even spoke to my partner. I was saying, but why are we having these shops in this setup? and they are all, obviously we know who owns them, and I even said I'm not racist, I'm just saying the facts. So we are actually the one buying from them, but it means we can buy from ourselves. But then as a business person, I realized business is all about people, process, price, and obviously the place that you sell in. As black businesses or township businesses, we don't have these things. We don't have systems in place. We don't have processes to do things. So you realize that as much as I would want to buy, ShopRite has a system. The owners of ShopRite, we all don't know, but we all go buy there. So because they have a system, they've created a system that supports, you know for sure you'll get what you are going to buy. So because you know for sure you're going to get what you're going to buy, you go there. You know that there is people, that business is actually working, there is a structured way of doing things. We don't have those things. Pricing, when you want to go speak to buy at the robots, they will look at you and be like, no, this is 5 rand. If you're 5 rand, my sister. And the other one comes, no, it's 50 rand. There is no structure, so we need to invest back to what business is. Business is fair. It's a principle. If you follow the principle, it will work out. But we don't yet have the principle. We need to go back to the books while we practice it in practice. Yeah.
I think they've answered the question. I can only just touch on what they've said. Both elements are important. The support black business is important, and it's also important that black business delivers proper goods, proper service. So both elements are important. It's one thing for me to say, support via, next week, itegla kosele yahleka, la phambili it's torn. So, and then you've spent $1,000. I'm selling already. So it's 1,000, very affordable. Now both elements, support and produce quality, is very important. I think when you speak about black business, especially from the townships, most of us, we came from backgrounds, you must go to school, get a degree, like Upradasho, you know, and then get a job. So we never had the experience of business in our lives. So it is important what Usis Millicent is saying, that we take the time to educate ourselves, because when I got into business, I thought it was about profit, how much money I can make. And then, boy, I got the surprise of my life. It's not about profit, there's a whole lot more that goes into business beside making money. So if you're still on that tip of making money, that's where you are going to have problems of selling something that's not good. Usipika melibi kandi tina's petty quality. So it's very important to educate yourself and make sure that the support black businesses is accompanied by equality as well. Thank you.
I think he answered everything. Yes.
100%. I think he actually said a mouthful, and I think when we link it to the conversation at the beginning, now we come to see the light and the explanation, the definition of what it means to be educated in your business, right? What is the most important system that you should create? Is it the financial system? Is it the operating system? What is the most important system that you should create in order for you to satisfy your clients, at the same time make money?
The most important system you've got to get right, Sakana, is your marketing system. Because it does several things for you. Number one, it helps you identify a customer problem to solve. Number two, it helps you identify what kind of solution that you need to offer. Number three, it helps keep you in contact or communicating to a customer that if you have this problem, I've got a solution for you. That's the very first system you've got to be in. But let's take a little step back end to find what a system is. So a system is not technology, it's not software. It's just a stepwise process of doing
A
something.
way of.
I was just saying to Uti when we got on stage that I've seen a lot of Facebook posts with this picture on with him holding a shoe. Right? Those posts there, the way he shares it, that's a system. Because what it means is it keeps his product in front of people. People can then reach out to him as and when they need to. Most important thing is marketing. Get your customers coming to you. Then you can figure out what needs to happen next. Is it product? Is it operation? Is it product development? Is it innovation? Is it finance even? That all depends on what your customer wants. Because you want to build your business to be able to support your customer. If you go ahead and build those systems without understanding what your customer wants, when your customer comes and says, you know what, I actually don't want chili sauce. I want Tabasco. But you are set up to get chili sauce. Because you got to know go away.
Or next week is Tony Tabasco.
Yeah, or if you're desperate to sell, that's when you start negotiating on price. If you are negotiating prices with a customer, that's the wrong customer. Don't do it. You're selling to the wrong person. Because the person you should be selling to understands the value of the product. They understand the value of the product because your marketing system communicates it. It says, look, if you want to be distinguished, if you want to be distinct, if you want to have confidence and feel like you're confident, that's the shoe for you. That's what your marketing system does. And that's what you want to make sure.
Yes, unfortunately, I'm standing here. I just need a notebook. I just need a notebook because you know when you're tying your shoes and you keep, Mara, Yazi, do you know this thing that black people have? Oksalayo. Oksalayo ngisibopile isikathulo. But the knots are all wrong. You've tied your shoes knot after knot after knot, all the wrong way, Mara oksalayo. You know? And I feel like now you are just, untie, tie properly, untie, you know? And I like that. But now I want us now to talk about, yes, most definitely.
I just want to add one system that is an anchor. I always call it an anchor system. If you don't get your finances, you need to have a spreadsheet before you start because you get marketing and product and everything. Actually, finance is an anchor system that you need to have holistically. Whatever you do, go to your spreadsheet. You cannot not have the spreadsheet because it tells you we're going to make this. If I don't make this, my scenario is this and my scenario is this. I cannot move away out of my scenarios. So these scenarios will make sure that your business survives. Cash flow is very important in business, but we don't manage our cash flow because we don't even know how much because you do it from the head. If they say, no, please, then you say, okay, fine, I'll sell you the 10 rand, but you sell the 20 rand. What if you had a scenario to say, I cannot move from I know, but you're making me laugh because you're smiling and you're wearing a mask. But I know you're smiling, sorry guys. Just looking at here. But otherwise, your spreadsheets are very important. Please customize yourself to a spreadsheet where you see the money before you actually work out.
Thank you. And I think, simply speaking, yabo, masasikhuluma ngelanguage yethu yasekazi, yabo, ikuthi imali yakho kwamele we understand, you know? I think when I facilitate workshops, I say that your imali yakho ye business is like a personal romantic relationship. You need to understand what puts money in your business, what puts money out of your business, you know, your expenses, your income, you understand? The seasons of which your business has an increase in money and the seasons when the money is down. Because if you don't create a relationship with the money, then you are bound to face problems. And if she's saying spreadsheets and you're like, accounting, I didn't even like accounting from grade 9. It's not that difficult. It's about understanding that If you buy a product for 10 rand and you sell it for 20 rand, your profit is not 10 rand because transport, you know, you have to deduct certain amounts of money for you to actually attain the product. And then eventually when you sell the product, before you even make profit, you need to deduct those expenses, right? Simple ABCs. And I think that if we run away from the phobia of saying that business, eating, accounting, we are able to manage our business financials better. Right? And I like that you raised that. Right? Now let's look at money and opportunities when it comes to businesses. Now, a lot of entrepreneurs sicabanga ukuthi sidinga funding, and when we started the session at the beginning, we said we were differentiating between capital and funding, and we said that capital is the money used to start your business, and funding is the money used to, I'm going to use the word catalyze because of chemistry, but like accelerate, you know, to catalyze your prototype of your business. You said something about your customers and that the most important system is your marketing system. And it's important because that's where you get your money. You know, the people that will buy your product, those are the most important people. Now let's talk about funding in specific. What type of businesses or what type of industries require funding from the get-go or require creating a client base before I can ask for funding?
So,
No, you can go.
Funding. The question is, what type of industries need funding and what type of industries you can start by clientele? Okay, let me answer it from a perspective here via, because every case is unique. So it's not a one size fits all. So with the Evaya, the good thing is we live in an era of social media. I call this era the greatest era in humanity, because in this era you have access to abantu, you have access to millions and millions of people, and you do not have to have a huge marketing budget or advertising budget before you could reach your client. So that's very nice. That means we live in an era where you can create a product and be able to communicate it to your audience immediately without spending a lot of money. So in my case, when we came up with the design, something very unique happened. I sent it to a friend. Actually, the friend is here, is the one that's taking a video now. So he sent it to his brother to show him, "Hey man, kunale Ivaya." This was last year, November. This guy was like, "Hey, letegi lihleleni, walfaka ku Facebook." And we were not even ready to launch the sneaker. Within that day, the post trended to a point ukuthi we had to now just get on with it. Yabo? So it was a case of the people responded so much that we realized that we should start the business immediately. Tina, in our situation, we were like, no, let's raise some money first. Let's have 1, 2, 3 in place. But when we put out the product, because the people are there, the people were even willing to pay up front. Sithi no iteke lisayenziwa, but no problem. We will fund you. Sizolibhadala ngemali yethu. So people started taking pre-orders. This is before even we had one sneaker at the time. It was just the sample, and within a week we had sold 100 without having them on. You know, so I'm saying this is a unique business that didn't need that much funding. People actually funded it themselves because of the era that we're living in. So padama business ayatifara angeke uveze isithombe semoto and say abantu bafaka ama pre-order. You'll find ukuthi a manufacturing plant a motor is very expensive, so you have to have a different kind of setup before uveze moto. But with us, it was just that situation. So I'm saying it's like, it's not a one size fits all, but there are businesses these days that you can launch without any type of funding. And there are businesses that are very capital intensive where you need a lot of money for them to launch them. Thank you.
Thank you. Well said. Well said.
I like the fact that you point out that that's a unique situation. I think it's important for people to understand that 99.9% of the time, every business needs money to start. So there are three kinds of money you need: to set it up, to get it going, and to keep it running until you reach profitability. On average, a small business takes 3 years before it reaches profitability. Okay? So there's a very big difference between motivation and actionable advice. Motivation is start with what you have. That's motivation. That's not actionable advice. Right? So even in a situation where people want your product and they're willing to pay up front, that is money. That money that they pay up front is going to finance product development, manufacturing, the business. You still need to understand how much it's going to cost you to set up, to run your business until profitability. All of that comes from you understanding the customer problem, because then you know what to invest. When people then give you the money, you know how to invest it. So, and on the issue of pre-orders, for instance, when we launched the book, we launched it online and we said, you can buy it online on Amazon and what have you. But people kept saying to us, I want a paper copy. I see online, but I want a paper copy. And we've had to make pre-orders available on our website so people can order their paper copies ahead of time, ahead of our planned delivery schedule, because that's what customers want. And because we understand that it costs money, there are systems and processes that need to be in place, we are prepared to do that.
That is well said, actually. But I think I have a question from a personal experience. I think I have a question because I'm not even sure if it's a question, So I started, how dangerous is it to start a business like that? Because I experienced a really, really deep shock of my life by starting with the amount of money I receive from my customers. Because like you said, you need 3 types of money to run your business. Now, I'm going to make an example, right? So we have the turkey. So people pre-order. Now, when they pre-order, you're not going to buy the turkey. You're going to buy the resources to make the turkey, right? And that's money gone. And then from there, you need to make it. After making it, then you need to deliver. Now, the chances of you reaching equilibrium is basically the money you used to make the product and the money they used to purchase the product even before you start making a profit, right? When you start a business like that, how dangerous is it? And are there any chances that you could make a profit anytime soon?
It's a very good question. And the reason I'm excited to answer it, give it to me, give me. It's because I've had an experience where I thought I was winning, but actually I was losing. So I started a business. When I quit my job, I started a business. I spotted an opportunity in the township. When I was a journalist, we would go around looking for a house. This is before we had a much GPS. So there's a story to write and you're on a deadline. Elokishini akunama house number. Uhambe yabuze number 30 kukuphi. Ngathi ngale kulesa strata. Takes you a long time to find the house. You're on deadline, you need to submit the story. When I quit my job, I was like, let me go door to door and sell house numbers. And what I did was I took pre-orders again. And within the first week, I had over 500 orders. And I was selling the house number at 200 Rand each. Within like a month, I had over 1,500. You can do the maths. 200 rand times 1,500. I'm thinking I've made it. I've made it big. But I made a mistake. I wasn't taking, with the pre-orders, I wasn't taking any deposit. So the money had to come out from my own pocket. So when I started manufacturing the house numbers, I'm realizing, okay, I can manufacture the house numbers, but now I cannot meet the demand. So demand can kill a business as well. Sometimes you just take things out of excitement and you didn't do the calculations. So it got to a point whereby then I started learning some things. Okay, for a house to put up the sign, it took like an hour. So I needed how many teams to put up 1,500 signs within like a week. So eventually I realized I needed to hire a lot more people. I needed more bakkies. I needed more money. Within 3 months, I had crashed. Bese I answer the phone. Temba ipi number yama. Ya ume ngama number. So coming into this experience of sneakers, I knew exactly that let me not chew more than bite. Amatata sewarane out English. Reverse. So I realized that we should not take too many pre-orders and not look at our spreadsheet. Nama ilona ukuthi sibale kanjani. We must count. So it's very important, coming back to your question, ukuthi unga drive by excitement. Uyabo? Unga drive by excitement. Melu drive ama numbers concrete. If unuyibale ukuthi exactly how much is it going to cost me, transport, labels bala, transport, telephone, stationery, all of these things. You have to calculate to the last penny. You mustn't be driven by excitement. Ukuthi abantu balithanda le teki. So wonke umuntu la I order. Melu understand ukuthi no, am I going to be able to deliver? So it should not be driven by excitement. But most of the times when you're starting out, excitement iyabambana. Here abantu bayithanda lento. Asithathe nama order 8,000 only to find ukuthi factory has the capacity to only manufacture 100. And then sekunabantu abazokwatela and. So I think it's very important. From that experience I learned ukuthi it demand, not just only lack of supply, but it demand on its own can kill a business. Not ukuthi abantu banokuthi ibusiness yafa because awunama customer. Sometimes inokubulawa ukuthi inama customer maningi. So it's two ways. So you have to know both sides. Ungabe excited just ukuthi you've got customers kuphela. Sure. Thank you.
Sure. I wanna move, so that we can all engage in the conversation. But I'll be the first person to be the audience in this one, right? So I understand uguti sometimes business ibulawa uguti inama customer maningi, right? But what if it's not a product and it's a service?